We've had some really crazy weather last couple of days. On Friday and Saturday, which was a couple of days ago, was minus 25 was the lowest, with a wind chill of minus 35 to minus 40 in places. And then today we're already up to minus 3, so massive temperature swings. So I'm heading to a waterfall, a river, a stream that I photographed back in the fall with some nice colors. Kind of hoping there might be some frozen water, frozen falls, maybe some interesting snow and ice on the trees, because with those temperatures we also ended up with a fair bit of snow. So really hoping that we get a good mix of everything. Bit of an overcast day, but I think that'll help me well in the woods, so we shouldn't get any weird beams of light coming through. So yeah, we're heading there, and see you when we get there. I'm here, and yeah, so far looks quite pretty. Probably here, we're not too far from the road's edge, which is kind of nice this time of year. Don't have to hike too far in these cold temperatures. Did mention that we had some really cold weather a couple of days ago, but even today, it is only minus 3, with the wind chill still in that, I think, minus 8, minus 10, so a bit chilly. Well, maybe by the looks of me, you can tell that was a bit sketchy. Quite steep in parts, slippery. I do have spikes on my shoes, but yeah, one small slip and you're in the drink. But I'm so glad I made it. Let me show you. Look at all this. That is certainly a winter wonderland up there. All these icicles, or partly frozen waterfall. I actually shot this waterfall back in the fall, like I said earlier, and I was standing on some rocks, I believe, somewhere over there. I'll post that picture now, and just see the difference. It's just amazing. So just working through some ideas here. Certainly, I think I'm certainly going to get the drone out as well. It'd be nice to fly it down the center of the river. So once I've got a composition set up, I'll be back and I'll show you what I'm working with. Something that's going to be difficult here is placement. On a falls like this, you'd really want to be in the water, shooting back up towards the stream. But A, how cold it is, and B, how deep it now is, that isn't going to happen. So I think the hardest thing is going to be trying to find a composition from a spot where obviously we're not going to get wet and cold. So that looks like it's going to be the hardest thing to do here. So I'm not going to lie, I'm struggling here a little bit. I think it's one of those, so much beauty, not quite sure what to shoot, how to get in the right position, but I'm going to start with something and see how I go. I'm not sure it's the greatest shot, and I think there's more here. Just need to spend a bit more time, but I'm going to show you what I'm trying to do, and what I'm trying to gain from this is a first kind of shot of the location. It's been a long time since I've shot any winter too. We haven't had much of a winter, so not used to the snow and the ice and the tough terrain. I've got snow in my camera bag and snow in my boots, so it's all a bit new to me again. But here we are. So I'm working with trying to work with this stream right now. I think things I do like about it is I do like this this little island coming in off the right here and how it parts the water. I think with a longer shutter speed, I think with a shorter shutter speed, we should be able to get some interesting movement in that water as it comes off that cascade. And then I think the detail in this ice along here should pop quite nicely. I also like the V that we're getting with the banks leading up into that center there. So I think it's an okay shot. I think it's a good start, and we'll see what else we can find. So once I got this image back into Lightroom, started to do some editing, decided that I really didn't like the bottom left-hand corner. I felt that big chunk of ice was really taken away from the interest within that scene. Also started to look at the brown woods in the top right-hand corner and felt that those dark browns were really taken away from the beauties of the blues and the whites from this particular scene. So I know I can do better, so let's look for something new, and in the meantime, here's some drone footage. Well, I've decided this is a tricky spot. Not sure where the ground ends and the ice starts. I can't really get to the locations I want to get to because of the slippery banks. But hey, I'm not complaining. This is a spectacular spot right now. The ice formations, the patterns. So just kind of do the best you can, right? Do the best you can with the conditions you're dealt. So I've got another scene here, slight variation of where I was just now, slightly higher elevated, looking further down the stream. There's an interesting couple of trees. So what I've got is working with this tree here in particular, and this one here, and then I'm catching the stream across here, and then trying to pull in some of these evergreens that are weighted down with snow, and then also trying to catch these darker trees there on the right, but also making sure that I can catch this stream that's just kind of being forced to travel in a direction based on the ice. So let me just see if I can lighten this up, give you a sense of what I'm looking at. What's amazing me here is really just the amount of how much whites and blues. It's kind of overwhelming, but definitely very pretty. Trying to get some extra motion in that water, so the polarizer, if it's not doing anything to polarize, it's certainly gonna help me bring that shutter speed down. Push comes to shove, I will put on an ND filter, but I'd rather not at this point. So hopefully we can see what we get with that. Going to be shooting at about f13. Don't feel that I need to focus stack. The foreground isn't that close. It's probably 6 feet away from me, so I don't think we'll need to focus stack. What I am going to do is take multiple exposures. I'm not sure how this snow's going to react, whether it's going to blow out or not. And I certainly don't want that. And I certainly want the textures and shapes in the ice to be present in the image. So I'm going to be doing a bunch of different exposures and then some blending in Photoshop. And again, I definitely want to get some water movement, so certainly be slowing the shutter speed down for that. One thing I learned with Gavin when I was with him a couple of months back was to basically take my f-stop to to f22, for instance, which would allow me to get a much slower shutter speed for the water movement. Not too concerned about anything like the diffraction or image quality, because all I'm going to do is blend that blurry portion of that water into Photoshop anyway. So if there is any slight degradation on the shot, doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, it's blurred anyway, because that's the effect I wanted. So I know landscape photography is certainly sent to test us. You know, we've all been there, right? Great location, bad light. Great light, bad location. Great light, you're in Walmart parking lot. I just feel I got both here. I've got a great scene. The light's good, I think, for, you know, for waterfalls and forests. There's nothing streaming in. There's no light beams that are causing any blowouts or overdone highlights. It's fresh. Got beautiful whites against some of the black rocks and the dark trees. But yet the terrain is just getting to me. The terrain is just so hard. I'll show you where I'm sitting. Just decided to sit and have a snack and contemplate where I am, because it is beautiful. But if I spin you around, you know, that's really what I've had to contend with in this whole area. You can see my footprints there, you know, clutching onto trees and making sure I don't fall down the bank. But I think you can also see that, you know, I can't get down there to get some of the vantage points that you need. There's some beautiful ice just there leading up to the falls I was just shooting. So again, I sound like I'm complaining, and don't get me wrong, I think I've got hopefully I've got a couple or three decent shots. I flew the drone. I think the drone footage is really going to be pretty, but just so frustrating. It's just so beautiful, yet just so tough. So not sure what the moral of that story is. I guess we're never happy as landscape photographers, but hopefully you like the images. Hopefully you got something out of this, and we'll catch you on the next adventure. See you soon.